When we're in New Hampshire, my favorite place to come is the Funspot. It is an arcade museum. I'm going to show you a bunch of my favorite video games that they have here, and have a good time. Before Twitch streams and watching YouTube gameplays, the arcade was where you had to go to watch other people play video games. That is just their classic video game floor. There's also multiple floors. One thing that's cool is that they actually have a tally for all the high scores for all of these classic video games. And so, like, you can find yourself on the board rather than having your initials in the game. Probably one thing I love most about this place is that they actually use quarters. They don't do the whole, like, put money on a card, so you're not exactly sure how much you're paying for each game because you're doing it by points. These are actual tokens, so you know exactly what you're paying into each game. I'm actually here at one of my favorite games to play. It's called Death Race. This was actually a game that was banned way back in the 80s because it was too violent. So let me show you the graphics. Now what you were supposed to do is I'll actually do a little bit of driving here. Let's see. Alright, here we go. We're going to go forward, hit the accelerator. Oh, start. So I'm supposed to hit these people, and then it gets progressively harder because there's going to be tombstones that actually take up the screen, and that screeching is actually the people screaming for me hitting them. Now, tame these days, but back in the day, this was a little too much for some people. Come on. Oop, there we go. Oh, safe zone. They even have an indoor mini golf. Wait, what the hell? Is that a demon fish? And a bowling alley. Entire bowling alley. They also have gambling or slot machines if you so choose. But you don't actually win money though. So, you just like pulling those slots. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Ugh. Oh, 3 coins? Let's do that. You get to pull the lever. Oh yeah. Nah, bummer. Oh, your classic Galagas and Galaxians. Megan's playing Galaga. She already got the double spaceship. And she's gonna wreck. Hopefully I don't mess her up. Beep, beep, beep. This is Hercules. It is said to be this is the largest pinball machine. Look at that thing. It's huge. Just ginormous. Play a little bit of this. See how well I do. It's basically a cue ball right here. I'm going to try and do this one-handed, and it's not going to work. Oh man, it takes a lot of effort for this thing to go. Based off the actual, original Tron movie, they created this game around it, where you have to, get into the mainframe and everything like that. Look, they even have it way out there in the background. I do okay at this. It's weird because you have a joystick and you have this little twirly thing, and that's your aim right there. Of course, what arcade would not be complete without the original Pong machine? Look at that thing. Look how simple these controls are. That's it. That's all you needed. Player 1, player 2. I think one of my favorite things is all the titles for all these video games. Like Zarzon, Lazarion, Satan's Hollow. Let's not go there. 'Tis a silly place. Puyon, Exerion. He's spelling out Wizards of he's not done yet. Worlds? Worcestershire? Now this is probably my favorite classic stand-up arcade. Although you see this one's not a stand-up, it's more of a sit-down. This actually would be cool to have as like a coffee table or something in the actual house. You have your two players who sit right next to this thing. And give it a whirl. So sadly this one doesn't have the original graphic on the side, but you can kind of get the idea is that you ride a ostrich and you fly. You are flying an ostrich. Single play, one ostrich. Double play, ostrich and, is that a pelican? What is that? Either way, so you're a guy on an ostrich that you're jousting with guys on buzzards. Because, you know, the 80s. That made total sense. Megan's playing another classic cabinet, one that actually moves. Space Harrier. Epic. So one thing I just noticed about this is this right here. This is right next to it. Do you know what that is? Get ready. That's a cigarette holder, so people could smoke and play video games. Oh, how the times have changed. Get ready. Cigarette ashtrays in video game. So I came across this one. This game, it's called Zybots. Cool name, but what I really want you to see is this. That's a character. Rock Hardy. I think he's a buff dude, one would think. Yeah. I mean, look at those little delts. They're alright. I mean, I don't know if he's rock hardy. I mean, this guy's probably got, you know, bigger muscles than he do. That's just Captain Ace Gun. Not as cool. Not as cool. So I just found this game and I've never heard of it, called Fire Truck. This is actually a two-player game. You have a guy who sits here that controls the, you know, the steering, and then there's a guy back here who controls the back part of it. That's so cool. I've never heard of this game and it just seems like such a great idea. Look at the design of this cabinet. Now that's a cool cabinet. This thing's called Computer Space. It's developed in the 70s, but just the actual cabinet itself is probably one of the coolest features of this game. Of course, these are the ones that I remember playing the most. Turtles in Time and The Simpsons. And you always had to fight over who you're going to be. You could be any of the four of the Turtles or any of the four of the Simpsons. And the correct answer is you always wanted to be Bart. And you always wanted to be... Actually, this one was the tough one. Most people, I think, wanted to be Leonardo. I always wanted to be Donatello. But these were the classic beat-em-ups. Yeah. I got to number 4 on the Avengers game. Another classic beat-em-up. Be very afraid. I think it sees us. So Megan and I both had $10 and we probably spent an hour or so. I highly recommend this place. It's on the western bank of Winnipesaukee in Wares Beach. You come here, probably $20 at max. You get a couple hours of fun, and you can even become the sheriff like Megan. Very nice. If you're in Wares Beach and you want to look at knickknacks and paddywhacks and a ton of other stuff, but you want it to have a German feel to it, you come to the Kellerhaus. This place has been here since 1906. They also have ice cream, which is fantastic because they actually make it here. And you actually have a great view. I'll show you that later. Sticks. All their chocolates are all made in-house. Oh, so good. Drops. Everything you need for Christmas here too. Santa? Enjoying my house-made ice cream in front of a fantastic view. Live free or die. Thank you for watching. We'll have more from our New Hampshire adventure soon.